it's Chinere here, and today is review day. Today I'm working with comingby.com. You guys have seen it. I've worked with them. This will be my third time working with them, and yeah, I've been happy so far with the way that they treat me, with the way that they go about things. So I thought, why not do another review for them? So the last shipment that I received, I asked them, can I get a Yaki texture just to try it out? Because, you know, when you review hair, you don't really get that many options, honestly. So nobody was offering me Yaki straight. Still nobody has. So I asked them to send me a sample bundle, which is my top bundle. It was a 20 or a 22 inch. They sent it to me and I loved it. So I was like, for my next review, I would like to do a whole Yaki straight install. So right now I have it a sew-in, and I have just a little bit of leave out at the top, probably about like this much out at the top. But I am currently making a wig out of the rest of the hair. This is the closure that they sent me at the top. But yeah, the closure is great. I had to pluck it a bit and then I flat ironed it. And this is a 26 inch bundle in there. It was just laying down and I just grabbed it. So that wig should be ready tonight because I'm tired of straightening out my leave out. Honestly, I have very naturally kinky hair, so that can get a bit annoying. So anyway, let's talk about the specs and how the hair did. So I ended up getting 5 bundles. Like I said, they sent me a Yaki bundle to review and I liked it, so that was one. Then they sent me 4 more bundles. I asked them for 2 20 inches, a 24 and 2 22 inches, and then I already had my 20 inch. So this is an example of the 26 inch. I dyed it, of course. This one was a bit more of like a splotchy dye because I was just kind of in a hurry, but you guys can see it was a bit of a strict ombre. It's really light at the bottom, but it gradually gets lighter from the dark tips. Then I put a few highlights in there. You can't really see it that well, but see a few, like, you can see a few streaks of the highlight in there. I was going for something for fall because I wanted to dye the ends kind of like a red color, but I've just been kind of dealing with this one right now. So yeah, right now in my head though, I have in the 20 inch and then 2 22 inches or like a 24 or something like that, but I'll put the specs down below. So the hair has 2 different textures, I noticed. The longer one has more of a ripple. You can see the ripples in there, see? Has more of like that type of effect to make the kinky hair. And the shorter bundles has more of a, I'll have to show you. See how the shorter bundles are? They don't have that much of that rippling effect. It's more of a straight, it's more straight, but it's still Yaki. So I was kind of annoyed by that. I would have liked the longer ones to be just like this one, because I bought the longer ones because I thought it was going to be like this top piece, which was the sample that I ordered from them, you know, that I requested. But I mean, it's still textured and people think it's my real hair. Like when I'm walking around and like the wind is blowing, like people think it's my real hair. So I love this. I absolutely love this hair. But I do have to take the sew-in out because I have other hair reviews to do and I can't do them properly. Like I literally tried to, like, you know, put my hair back in a ponytail, then put the wig over it, and it was looking a hot ass mess. And on top of that, I have to keep straightening out my leave out, so I have to take my leave out. But if I didn't have to, this hair is so low maintenance, and I have put it through the ringer. When I first received it, I washed it, and a little bit of hair dye did come out, like a color or something. I don't know if it was the coating, but it was like a black coating. It did come off of all the bundles. Then when I dyed it, it took a while to lift. Like, I mean, it did lift, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I would need to go in with a toner to get it a bit more blonde if I wanted to. I think this bundle actually on the wig got a little bit more light, see? So yeah, I mean, it gets pretty light compared to the dark part. So it definitely dyes. I think I just would have had to leave it on a bit longer to, you know, get it to a really noticeably light color. The color is actually lighter in person, but in camera you can't really see it, but you can, you know, it looks a bit hinty or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I haven't tied it up at night, but I need to do that. But it's too late, so I'm taking it out anyway. But yeah, as far as maintenance goes, there is really honestly no maintenance. All you really need to do is, I mean, it's a little bit tangly because it is Yaki hair. It's mainly at the bottom because I've dyed it, and I think I dyed it like twice because I really wanted it to lift, and then go in with highlights. So yeah, you need to go in with a deep conditioner. I use something like Suave. Suave honestly doesn't really do the trick if you really need a good conditioning. I would honestly suggest the Perfective line, which is what I'm going to use on here. Perfective breaks me out, but it doesn't break me out when I use it on my hair, you know, on whatever like extensions I have, and it works extremely well. There was no shedding, and that's another thing. Oh my gosh, the weft sealing. These are pre-sealed wefts, I can pretty much guarantee, because let me see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like the wefts, when you first get them, they're really shiny and they are extremely tight to work with. I mean, whoo, especially if you have a big head needle, oh my gosh, like you have to really watch out for that. The wefts are so tight that I poked myself a few times because I was trying to pull it in. So I guess that's kind of like the trade-off. If you want hair that doesn't shed at all, this hair does not shed. Like even when I was washing it, I think I got like 2 strands, and that was after I dyed it like the second time. I had already washed it about 4 times at that point, because I washed it twice when I first got it, then I washed it after I dyed it the first time, then I washed it after I dyed it the second time, and that was within a matter of 2 days, and I got about 2 strands of shedding, and the bundles were out of the rubber band. So yeah, when I first took it out the rubber band, there was no shedding. When I washed it, no shedding. So that's another good thing. Even when I brush it out, like as long as you start from the bottom and bottom to up, and you do it in like 4 different sections, you're not gonna get no shedding. And that was like a big thing for me. A lot of these companies, you know, you're getting a lot of shedding these days, but with the trade-off, you're gonna need a needle that doesn't have such a big head at the end. So I would recommend probably using like a sewing needle if you can, with just like a thicker thread or something. You know, you don't always have to use the weaving thread to make a wig or weave your head. You can use other thread. I know that like certain threads, it can actually end up cutting your hair, so I get why you need a thicker one, but it's just that like I don't know how to get around like the really tight wefts. That's gonna be something to work around. So as far as curling the hair, it definitely holds and can make a curl. I actually use the flexi rods. Like I would put mousse on the hair, and then I would put it in the flexi rod, and then I would blow dry it, and it would hold and it would make this beautiful wave. I kind of felt like going straight these last few days. So that's why it's just been like this. And you know, I'm pretty low maintenance when it comes to my hair. As long as it's in and it blends, I'm good. I really don't need to do like a bunch of stuff with it. So yeah, anyway guys, that's pretty much all I can think of. I already covered shedding, how it dyes, if it tangles. It doesn't really tangle. I mean, as long as you keep it conditioned and moisturized, it doesn't really tangle. I mean, this is Yaki hair, so it's gonna be a bit drier than any other hair. Like if your hair is kind of like a Yaki texture, you know, and it's not like that soft Yaki. This one is very, it's very structured. I don't even know how to explain it. Like the other ones, they feel like plastic. This one doesn't feel like plastic. It's not like that. I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like that, if I'm saying it correctly. It may be a little bit shiny, but it definitely doesn't feel like that. It's not thin. Like the strands aren't thin, if I'm explaining it right. I don't know. This is a 26-inch bundle, and it's thick from like root to tip pretty much. I mean, I don't like my ends being super full, so yeah, I'm good with that. It doesn't need to be super full at the end. I mean, is it human? Who knows? I mean, like I said guys, I hardly don't care about I mean, obviously it's being advertised as human. I don't personally care for human hair that much. I mean, as long as it does its thing. I'm not, you know, human hair junkie. I'm not crazy about virgin hair. I just want hair on my head that works with my lifestyle. As far as tangling, I would have to give it about a 7 out of 10. Can't give it a 10 out of 10. As far as coloring, I would have to give it, like, once again, like a 6.5 out of 10. As far as everything else, I mean, shedding, 10 out of 10. It doesn't shed at all. The construction of the actual weft, it's good because it doesn't shed, but the problem is that getting the needle through it, because they're already pre-sealed wefts, I feel like because it had this shiny coating on it, oof, I would have to give that like a 4 out of 10. And simply because it's just so hard to get the needle through. But other than that, you know, the shedding is good. So anyway, as far as the closure goes, the closure, I mean, you guys have seen it. It's just a simple lace closure. I ended up having to pluck it and all that stuff. You guys can't really see it that well, but alright guys, so that's pretty much it for my review. I can't think of anything else that I would need to put into a hair review. If you want to know anything about the specs or how it's holding up, always check the description bar, and then you can ask me in the comments below. But look at the date. Don't ask me like the same day and the same week, like how it's holding up. I mean, this is a sew-in, so I feel like a sew-in is like the same as like having a wig for a month. I've had the sew-in for about 5 days, but I'm only taking it out because I need to get to other reviews, and plus I'm tired of combing and straightening out my leave out. I'm not used to having to do that every time, and I actually just straightened out my leave out, I'm not even kidding, like 3 hours ago, and it's already back to being kinky. So yeah, but I mean, the kinkiness, it still blends in with this hair very well, so I don't know, you know, just like one pass through or like a simple blowout. And I have very, very tough Nigerian hair, like it's super tough. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my review. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.